feeling good?
Check.
I don't know what he's feeling. He's feeling like he wanted to click start and then walk away. Pro move. Write it down. Yeah.
All right, what's up, everybody? We are live. And so today's episode is an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting. You cannot see our backdrop. You can't see our stage. The camera's set up so close you just see the three of us in folding chairs, and we're all holding cans, and you don't know what's in them. It could be some liquid poison. Actually, today's episode is all about selling out. Like me, today I sold out to Monster Energy drink. Normally I have a Bang, and it's usually a candy apple Bang because that's the best flavor. But as always, the gas station I've been going to doesn't carry that brand, and I had to get something quick, so I bought the Monster Energy drink. So today I sold out to Monster Energy. Now, Jordan, you're no stranger to selling out.
Not at all.
When you were a kid and all of us were into Sega Genesis, you were the first one to get a Super Nintendo, and that's definitely selling out to your friends.
Yeah, in more ways than one. What I was actually doing was I wanted to tell you I had a Super Nintendo and a Sega. I was selling you guys out by trying to strut and preen with my Sega and Super Nintendo.
Fancy pants.
I know.
Fancy pants.
Rotten, but also Whirlpool refrigerators. I sold out to them.
How?
$20. A guy in the parking lot gave me $20, and he said to mention Whirlpool refrigerators and how good they are. Just an audio mention, $20 per mention.
Oh, perfect. All right. Well, Today's episode is also brought to you by Whirlpool Appliance. Anyway, so today's episode, you'll see Michelle is not here. She could not make it today, but I got a guest trainer to fill in. Today we are joined by Nick Martin. Okay. And Nick, if you'd like to introduce yourself to everybody out there in TeamSam world and tell them where you're from and what you do.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Sam, for letting me be here. What's up, guys? I'm Nick Martin. I own Kryptonian Muscle, LLC. I run my personal training business out of Relentless Fitness. It's down in South City. I've been personal training for 6 years. About 9 years, I lost 100 pounds and been helping others do the exact same ever since. And I love it and don't ever plan on stop doing it.
You're a great example of different ways that people can transform their body and how training styles affect that. What I mean is this. So many people out there don't understand that depending on what your goals are, your style of training will change depending on what those are. If you want to get strong as hell, then how you train is not going to be like somebody getting ready for a marathon or somebody that's trying to get as lean as they can. If you're training for a bodybuilding show or trying to get as big as you can, you're not necessarily going to train like a power lifter, and you're probably going to take different supplements and chemicals. So you've done a lot of different transformations.
Absolutely.
As far as losing weight and then doing the marathon and the powerlifting.
Yes.
You're pretty fucking strong, aren't you?
A little bit. A little bit.
Tell us some of your lists.
Squats at 450, benches at like 280, 290, and deadlift is almost at 500.
Nice. Awesome.
Almost.
Awesome.
So when I first met Nick, it was at the Club Fitness in Arnold.
Yep.
Okay, you were working there. Were you a trainer there? Or
just porter, front desk, sales. Okay.
And I mentioned that because that's a big part of what today's show is about. When we talk about selling out, the big hot button issue right now in St. Louis. Gold's Gym closed their doors. They are gone. Sayonara. But yesterday, all the Gold's Gym members, they thought they were done. They thought they had cut ties. They were finished. Everybody that was a member got an email. Not me, because they fucking banned me. They got an email saying that their memberships and their information was sold off to Club Fitness. Now, that's not some gangster shit right there. I don't even know, how is that legal? That you can take everybody's payment information and make them, force them to join another gym. I'm sorry, guys. All of you that are former Gold's Gym employees and trainers, look, hey, I feel sorry for you guys. If I can help you out in any way, I'm for it. This is not against any members or the awesome employees and trainers, but the company itself, that's some horse shit.
Some guy in a suit. Some guy in a suit somewhere. And I told you when you told me about it, I said, wait, they literally sold them out?
Yes.
Because I normally use that figuratively. I'm like, oh wow,
They literally
they sold like slaves. Like slaves.
Jeez, what have we come to? Put us on the Human Rights Watch.
What year
Gold's
is
Gym
this?
on the Human Rights Watch.
What year is this?
Just sold them. Sharecroppers.
Somebody alert the Pentagon.
Man.
So
Jeez.
Like
they
they have anything else
sold,
to
they sold all of their information, all of their payment info. So all of you that used to be Gold's Gym members are now Club Fitness members. And that's not to slam Club Fitness, okay? That's not to slam Club Fitness. They built a brand new one here in Fenton, and it opened in January, and that's kind of crazy timing there. Club Fitness opened in January, and then a few months later, Gold's Gym shuts their doors and sells everything to Club Fitness. That had to be planned. That was planned for months in advance. It had to be. So Nick, when you were working at Club Fitness, was there ever any shady shit going down where they got together into a meeting and they said, hey, Nick, come here. And then they're like, hey, Alexandra, come here. And Myson, come here. Guess what? All right, we're gonna look for any gym around that we think's to go out of business. And then we're gonna offer a lot of money to sell their member. Did shit like that ever go down? I was never an employee at Club Fitness.
Yes and no. Yes and no. I was a porter, so I only found out more or less when everyone else found out.
Sure.
So I've heard conversations, but yeah.
Totally off topic, but because we have another trainer here. So when I first started training, I worked for Bali Total. I was one of the last of the Bali's trainers, and I'm proud of that. Because any old timer that you meet, they all spent time at Bali's. There was
Bally's had great commercials.
It
Dude.
was
I liked
incredible.
watching those as
My
a
dad
kid.
a
I
member
was
there for
like,
10 years.
a member of Bali's.
dad
My
was
dad
a
was a
member.
member. That's awesome.
those commercials were 10 seconds of bliss sometimes. They would be.
As a kid, remember watching that
yeah.
as a kid?
Yes.
And before, I remember it was Bali's, and then before that it was called Vic Tanny. You know, my
Oh.
mom used to always talk about
Yeah.
going there. So as a kid, it was like Bali's was
Big
the place to
hairspray
be.
hair.
When I got into training,
pumping away.
Bali's was on the way out. So all the veteran trainers that I met that were all like 10, 20, 30 years in the business, which is rare to find, all of them worked at Bali's at some point. And so I was like proud to be one of the last Bali's trainers. But anyways, while I was there, it finally hit me. I had an epiphany one day that the gym is where you will find like the most motivation. The gym is where you will find people who will just inspire you and they want to get you into the fitness world and help you out. But it's also where you will find some of the most delusional, crazy ass people. They do. It's like they go nuts and they're looking for a place to be accepted. And they're like, I'm going to join a gym. And geez, so when I worked for Bally's, there were some crazy ones. I remember there was a woman, she would come in every day and she wore the same outfit. She had on like a leotard and then sweatpants, and she had a thong over the sweatpants and then like mesh
As
basketball,
one does. As
like
one
mesh
does.
basketball shorts and a mesh top over it. She would just get on the elliptical every day and go for hours. And then there's a dude, okay, I won't say the gym because it's recent. There's a dude at one of the gyms now who he shadow boxes and then he runs across the gym and throws jump kicks. And he'll
Hey,
stop.
man,
like, dirty looks at people.
It's hard to hate on that stuff though. It's like
Okay, it's Jordan. It's Jordan.
exactly.
No, but
Don't rain on my parade.
This is a real guy. So, Nick, as long as you've been involved with the gym and the fitness industry, what is some of the weirdest shit? What is like the weirdest person or thing you, or even if it's like a little thing you don't like in the gym?
Clean up your shit. Honest to God. Clean up your fucking shit. Like, being a porter for 2-3 years and just seeing people left and right just leave trash, you know, that's a place for everyone to come in, really, you know, enjoy themselves. They're hour away from their kids, what we try to do for our clients. Just don't be an asshole.
Yeah.
Clean up after yourself.
My favorite are the bros. You get the fucking roided out bros that are all on Tren and D-ball. And they've got their bag, they've got their belt, they've got everything with them, and they slam their gear down, and they've got their water bottle, and then they get 12 different dumbbells and set them out and do one set. And it's like, dude, just fucking take what you need and stop hogging anything else. You don't look tough doing that. You look like a fucking idiot. But they are. It's like the gym is a place that is mainly cool people that want to work out. We talked about this last episode, but it's not like it used to be. The gym environment where people want to help and be cool with each other, it is not at all like it used to be. And it sucks because even a lot of trainers are like that. They're kind of in their own mindset. They got their own little clique mentality. They've got one style of people they want to train, and I'm not gonna slam on people for that because we have one style of training we like here. Where do you think Booty Squad comes from? But
you should arrange a tournament for all the styles.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
And put people through a contest and see who loses the most out of which style. Which
That's
one's
how
the
UFC.
champion.
So when UFC started,
That's what I'm saying.
UFC, which is like when we're talking about gym douchebags, UFC is where most of them are like congregate to. Hey, bro, you want to go to Buffalo Wild Wings and watch the UFC? Want to watch Conor McGregor, bro? Hold on, let me pick up these 30 fucking dumbbells I got out. So.
If you don't do that challenge, you have to arrange this.
Okay, but UFC when it started was all in the concept of all the different martial arts styles, karate and taekwondo and jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai and boxing, and they were like, let's take these styles and see which one's the best. So what we could do here is have our version of Mortal Kombat, where it's like the power lifters and the bodybuilders and the fucking cross-country kids.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
And then the booty girls. And they all just fight it out. And I'm like, make this bet right now. The bodybuilder dudes will be the first to lose. They will be the first to go down. Because all that estrogen, because they inject all that testosterone into themselves, and a lot of that converts to estrogen. So they're just gonna be in the corner crying and having roid rage, and they can't decide which one. And then their overblown muscles just cause them so much endurance. They wouldn't last long at all. My guess is that the booty squad girls would be the winners.
You have to put them through some sort of a gauntlet. Like how Tough Mudder is a gauntlet that requires many different things.
What was
put
the
him
rock
through
show
that.
on Channel 5 that he just did?
It was like Titan Games or something.
Oh yeah, so something like that.
Yeah.
Titan Games.
Just put everybody through some sort of gauntlet, some obstacle course, and see who comes out on top.
Challenge accepted.
You know what? That reminds me
The
of
cross
something.
country
So,
kids get stuck on this thing they have to lift.
The Rock. All right, The Rock. The Rock is one of my fitness heroes. You know, the guy came from the wrestling world. That's my background. And so just The Rock went to so many heights in wrestling, and then he has become, now he's a fitness icon and a celebrity and all this stuff. So Nick, what fitness role models do you have? Do you have anybody out there that you look up to, that you watch their videos, or you pattern, or you're just inspired by?
Lane Norton for sure. I
Yeah.
love Lane Norton, the research side of things, all his strategies he's going with. The bodybuilding and the powerlifting, blending those together.
What's his name?
Lane Norton.
Lane Norton.
Bio Lane on Instagram. God, he's been around for 10, 12 years, something like that. Gives great content out. So, yeah.
Mine has always been Richard Simmons. Richard Simmons is he's my number one fitness icon. If you really look at all the shit that I do and what we do at TeamSam, I think I've sprinkled some of this on Michelle. It came from years of me being a kid watching Richard Simmons. And people go, no way, Richard Simmons. No, if you look at Richard Simmons at his core, he loves his clients. He cares about his clients more than anything. He will sit and he will cry with them, and he just gets them so inspired. So Richard Simmons is one, but The Rock is definitely, he's one of my fitness icons. And the reason I brought that up though is The Rock, you could say The Rock sold out to Hollywood. Rock was a big wrestling superstar. He was on top of the world in WWF, WWE. And then what'd he do? He went to Hollywood and he changed his hair and he changed his look, and now he's not The Rock, he's Dwayne Johnson.
Tell me Lane Norton's never sold out.
Nope.
That's one for Lane Norton, 0 for The Rock.
I agree. That means Lane Norton's up here, The Rock is down there.
Man.
So here's the thing though, okay? We're all guilty of selling out. And is selling out really a bad thing? You always hear this from people that are like purists, or they're at the lower level of certain industries, like artists and musicians. When they see somebody make it big, they go, oh, you sold out, you're becoming corporate. It's like, was that a bad thing? Because you're taking something that you're good at, and you're now able to make more money, and you're able to reach more people. It just takes you sacrificing a little bit, going mainstream. But we're all guilty of selling out. Jordan, besides the Nintendo and the Sega Genesis, what are some ways you have sold out?
I've sold out largely by being a chunk to the media, I think, like just consuming too much media.
Yeah.
It's like, is that what I'm on earth to do? Is to sit here and devour other people's shit? Or should I make maybe a little bit of my own? And too many times I think I sell out and I have a balance sheet at the end of the day that it's like, another day kind of wasted, you know.
Yep.
So that's the way I probably sell out.
There's a lot of ways every day that we sell out where we go, you know what, this could be what's making me happy, but I'm doing this instead. And at some point you got to recognize that. You got to say, okay, I'm going to stop selling myself out in this way. Nick, what is a way that you think you've sold yourself out?
I think in an early year of my training career, I wanted to go more corporate, more. I did my internship with BJC, and I thought about going corporate wellness. That was my degree and everything, and I thought about going that way for the longest time, but I knew I wasn't going to be happy. I just didn't sit well. I was folding towels about 3 hours of my shift all the time and whatnot, training one group class, maybe a client here or there, and I just said, this isn't for me. And looking back at it now, doing what I do and own my own business, I'm so much happier that I chose this way. It's harder, don't get me wrong, but I love it.
That's awesome.
That's a big lesson to learn. And
That's what everybody should learn, actually. It took me a while to learn.
So even in times where we feel like we sell out, we might learn something from that brings us something even greater. Because I remember you were part of something that went down. There was a lot of selling out, which was, so when Club Fitness used to contract their trainers to another company called DFM.
This is the new villain, by the way, the new antagonist. Slowly we're going to have to phase in Club Fitness. So because of this link.
So in the
and here we go.
A few years ago, Club Fitness would contract their trainers through a company called DFM, and they got into a big fight, and they said, fuck you guys, we don't want to use you anymore. So all the trainers were out of work at Club Fitness, and they had to go to some other gyms, and some of those gyms sold out. They sold out the trainers they already had to bring in DFM. So that's definitely a negative form of selling out. And you didn't necessarily sell it in that situation.
No.
You got sold out,
I got
but
sold
it
out.
brought you into something even bigger.
110% bigger, and it made me level the F up, to be honest with you.
It forces you to look at things and go, okay, in this situation, you may not have sold out. You were the one that was on the bad end of that, but you saw the opportunity in that.
Oh, 100%. I was offered to stay at that gym, but I did not trust the situation. I didn't trust the owners after that. You know, it sucked. It took about 4 months to get up and rolling where I am now and just making little money doing side jobs left and right. But for probably about 6 months into it now, I'm making the most I ever have since personal training. I'm in a whole lot better space mentally, physically, and just look forward to going to work every day now too.
That's a cool place where we're at now, I think.
We were talking about that, you know, before he started broadcasting, was that this coronavirus thing is going to shake things up. You're going to come out of it so much stronger, in a better place, because all the bullshit's going to kind of settle out.
Oh man, a big thing Michelle and I talk about, and this is we got this from Andy Frisella's podcast. I listened to a few episodes on that, and there was one he talked about, and this one really stuck with me. And he told me this one time we were working at the gym, working out, and he got told me this, and that's be resilient, like Resilient Fitness. You got to be resilient. Even though you might be the smaller business, you might be the smaller place, we are in a culture now because of social media and communication like it is, to where you don't have to have billion-dollar advertising budgets. You can connect with people, especially those local, and get their attention and get their trust. And so that company that weathers the storm, even in times whenever it feels like everything's bad and they're about to go under, as long as you weather that, you will outlast your competition. And that sounds funny, but check this out. We've been here now a little bit over 2 years. And since then, there is a billion fucking fitness places. Fitness is oversaturated. If you are somebody thinking about opening a studio or a gym out here, don't do it. There's so much stuff. But us, being the small little business, we easily have the smallest budget out of all of the places around, because we're surrounded by these big corporate places, these big franchise places, the Gold's Gyms, Club Fitness, Burn Boot Camp, Orange Theory. There's a ton of them. But look, We recently just outlasted one of the biggest corporate ones there was in Gold's Gym. You give it a little bit of time, especially with this shutdown. Orange Theory's got about a 3-year pop. Burn Boot Camp's gonna have a little bit of time, but the point is, whenever you outlast those big places, people will always remember that one that's always been there. And that's where they start to put more trust into it. And so Corona has taken that and it's sped that process up, because these big places can only go so long without revenue, where the smaller ones like us, do you know how low our overhead is? We're able to cut our prices and we're able to undercut and fucking have great prices because our overhead is minuscule compared to what those places have every month. So whenever they have to take a month off, they do things like close up, move out, and sell your memberships off to the other corporate place. So
Slaves.
I want to check the screen real quick because I thought I saw some people leaving some comments. I want to see what anyone's saying here. We want to go over that before we move on, because also today I want to talk about Taco Bell. And Ryan West. Ryan, what's up, buddy? Stacy and Alec and Heather Smith, Melanie. Melanie Lambert said, hey, Nick.
What's up, Melanie?
And let's see. Ollie's watching. Luke, Rick, Jess. Misty says, Richard Simmons workouts kick your ass. I couldn't agree anymore. Jessica Jones, Becky, and Dana, and Joy says, booty squad. Hell yes. Who said this right here? Let's see. Brittany said, rest in peace to Club Fitness in Fenton. I don't think it'll kill them, but Brittany, I think you need to finally stop being scared and come try my stuff out. I'm literally the only gym that you've never tried out, and all your friends have been here. Well, I know a few that probably don't like me. Amy, and what did Amy Russ say? Amy says, wow, that's messed up. I would be pissed off if they sold my info. Amy, you know you don't have to worry about ever selling your info right here.
Until he sells out.
Until Burn Boot Camp offers me a couple million. Everyone's like, how is that legally possible? I'm sure it is, guys. Remember that when you sign up at all these other gyms,
you don't read
you pay some.
It's in the fine.
You pay some.
You don't read a damn thing. This
You need
micro
a
type.
special eraser to
Yeah,
look
half
into
the
it.
sheet is just this micro type that looks like a barcode.
Almost lost my train of thought. The camera. Sorry, guys. This is like some Wayne's World production here, if any of you are old enough to know what Wayne's World is. Okay, so selling out. I know a really good example of where I feel like I sold out big time on a business level, and it affected us big time. So, like the whole time I've been doing this, when it was just me, before we had the studio and I was just running my business out of other places, was I realized about 2 years in that if I'm not acting like myself, it's not gonna work. You know, there is a bit of performance that comes along with our job. And I love that part. That satisfies that performer wrestler guy in me. But if you're taking yourself and you're scaling it back and you're bland and you're not being yourself, not only will others see through it, many won't see who you really are. And ultimately that's how you're gonna sell yourself, is being who you are. And so my first couple of years, it was like, I had my clipboard, I would program all the workouts and write out every single one. And I had, I almost said something not politically correct. It was so lame. I would take the resistance bands and I would tie them around my waist, and because at Bally's there weren't many machines that worked. You had to use bands and shit and make up stuff. So I would wear the bands tied around my waist because I was like, well, that's easier than going and always having to get them. Yeah. I thought, I look stupid. But I tried to fit what I thought a personal trainer was, and the way I would talk, and I would be so professional. And I was like, man, this sucks. Like, I feel like I'm still not getting it. And then I got to a point where, before I really learned how to draw people in and sell myself, I got to that point where I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to approach this like I would if I was wrestling. Like, I'm going to be myself. And that's when I started not only building more business, but I started attracting the clients that I wanted to train. And that's something, when you work for a gym, a lot of times you think like, oh, I'm a trainer, I'm gonna work with athletes, and I'm gonna help people get in shape, and I'm gonna do this. No, it's usually gonna be a lot of the same person you're training. And if you're training for one of those high-end corporate places, a lot of times it's gonna be like an older, overweight housewife, and they like to nag and complain, and why am I never losing weight? And you're like, you don't follow. I found that as I was more myself, and I talk like I normally do, and I curse a lot, and I'm pretty crude, I was bringing in more of the clientele that was similar to that, and they had fun with it. And where I messed up, where I sold out was, for many years, I do all these videos and I do all this social media, and I'm being myself. When we opened the studio, I had this weird thought where I was like, we've got more bills now. We're a bigger place. We've got to be able to open up who we train. We got to open up our market. We got to be a bit more mainstream. And so, like, after our first year, I started to scale it back big time. Like, I would censor myself. Normally, if I'm cursing, I would not curse as much. Even whenever I would make graphics and advertisements, I would double check. I would look at it and I would say, ooh, that font looks too intimidating.
Oh, yeah.
And I would change it because I would go, oh, that would intimidate somebody. So
Well, I have a challenge to your idea, though. I think that you might be wrong.
hold on, let me get to it. So what happened was, over the next year, we definitely brought in a lot of different clientele. We brought in a different market, and that seemed really great because it was like, dude, we crushed sales. The problem was, over the next 5, 6, 7 months, those clients that we brought in from having a softer approach were the type that didn't want to work hard. They would come to the studio and fucking talk or half-ass stuff. And it got to be where they socialized and they would just fucking annoy people to the point that the ones that were serious, the ones that started with us whenever things were more uncensored, they didn't want to be around that. Mm-hmm. And then the public perception from those looking out in was, oh, well, that's not a place for me. Yeah. And so I had a big business drop off, and we had to look and go, what the fuck? Like, why are we bringing in this type of clients? But that's because our marketing, it worked, but we sold out. We stopped being what we are.
I like how
we stopped being what we were to try to reach a bigger crowd, and in the end, that bit us in the ass because that loyal base that we did have were like, what? And they started to thin out. And then the ones that normally could be potential clients saw that and they go, oh, maybe that's not the place for us. And so Michelle and I were like, dude, we got to get back to our basics and do what's us, which really, when it comes down to it, we're real. We speak our mind. We have our own vision of what we think the fitness community should be. And we started pushing that again, and boom, like, dude, it was crazy. I mean, like within 3 or 4 weeks, how that started to pay off. And you start to say, no, look, let's be honest with you guys. This is our brand. This is our message. This is what we really are. And put that out there. And we just go, you know what? If that's not what somebody likes, if someone can't handle the cursing, if they can't handle the reality and a little bit of the crudeness that we throw out there, good. Then they probably were never going to be a good fit anyway. But I found that doing that has brought in more people. So it was a huge lesson about selling out.
You build that community 110%, the people and the accountability where everybody loves to be here. It's their favorite time of the day coming in here too.
That's huge. It's the culture. It's the culture that you build. And if you're not being real, if you're being fake and you're doing it because you think that you're going to be more successful in that way, I don't think it's ever going to pay off. And you won't be happy. You won't be happy about yourself.
Nope.
Okay? If you want to be happy in life, if you want to be happy, and I don't care what it is that you do, at some point, you got to step back and look and go, who have I been doing this for? Who have I been trying to make happy? Who am I trying to appease? Because at the end of the day, it just makes me feel miserable. So I'm going to finally take control. I'm going to stop selling out.
Yeah, don't sell out. But, well, I don't know. If there's like a bag of gold, I guess sell out. But no, I was going to just say that there's an alternate way. Maybe this doesn't have to do exactly with selling out, but the whole being yourself thing. Mm-hmm. There's an interesting idea that says that's terrible advice. What you want to do is be that next level up version of yourself. And so you almost do have to like act it out like it's something you've never done before.
Oh yeah.
You literally have to act it out. And then once you act it out, boom, you're there. Mm-hmm. And so not being yourself is like this ratcheting mechanism that can move you along. Mm-hmm. So I think when people say be yourself, it's that authenticity piece, but we don't maybe have the right language to describe it. But at the core of the advice is something you want to say that's like, no, have like a vision and fulfill that vision. And that's way different than being yourself.
Right.
Myself loves eating bags of potato chips, you know. I have lots of selves that loves to do lots of things. What I want to do is have some pinpoint little thing that I'm trying to get to, and act more like that ideal, instead of being myself. But that's just an alternate idea. I don't know what you think of that.
I like that. We've talked about that before, where everybody's got different. I don't necessarily think different personalities, but they do have different versions of themselves.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of that's your ego. You know, you've got your ego on one side, and then you've got the essence of who you are on the other. And I think
there's
ego,
way more than that.
The ego.
I think
is
there's
that
a
one.
lot more than that. I think there's like maybe like 40 different ones. But
I want to go back to, you want to talk about selling out, and one of the biggest things for us in the fitness industry, when you go into the big box corporate gyms, we want to push sales.
Yep.
And that was one thing I hated going into big box gyms. When I interviewed, I will say I interviewed with DFM, and they wanted me to go up to and talk to every client on the machine.
Oh, yeah.
Go up there, try to sell them on every little thing, sell them a jump start, one
that would
free
be
session,
annoying.
you get one free one, and sign them up for this.
Yep.
I have never believed in that. Never. I always give 2 free sessions away. I want you to feel comfortable doing this, and then we'll talk a little bit more, long term next time.
Yeah.
And I think too, that helps you show your value to that person too. One thing I've learned through all this here, doing free things pays big dividends in the long run more than anything.
Because it shows people that you actually care.
100%.
It shows people that you're like, look, I got into this job for a purpose.
Damn straight.
I did this because ultimately, and man, that always takes me back to something. And so there are days I wanna put on a whole classroom for trainers, like new trainers coming on, people coming on. I would love to do something where it's like, look, guys, these are all the things you're doing that are fucking cliche. This is the thing I love is every trainer in their bio. So every trainer's got a bio in the gym posted or Club Fitness, it's on a video screen. They all fucking say this. Every fucking one of them say this. They go, well, my name is Chad, and I've got a passion for fitness. All of them say that. Go fucking look. Go look up every trainer that you have on Facebook, and I bet someplace in there they're gonna tell you they have a passion for fitness.
Chad?
Probably Chad, yeah.
You're a racist.
Against jocks. Against jerk
Chads.
Chads. I'm racist against Chads. So all of them though, they're gonna say they have a passion for fitness. No one fucking cares about your passion for fitness. What they care about is your passion to help them. And it goes beyond that. And I think where Michelle and I really gel with this stuff is at our core, we said this is what we believe we as trainers do for people. And that is we show them what they are capable of. You show somebody what they are capable of. That is the best feeling in the world. It's not about my passion for fitness. I don't give 2 fucking shits for the bodybuilding world. I don't even know how I became a trainer some days because I am so disassociated from the industry. But the biggest thing that we do that we feel pushes here is that we show people what they are capable of. Is that not the best feeling in the world?
100%.
When you have a client that constantly says, I can't do that. I can't do that box jump. I can't lift this weight. I can't lose 10 pounds. I can't do this. I can't eat like that. And you build their confidence up. You build their self-esteem up. And then one day they finally do it. And it's like that thing in their head that goes, you opened up the fitness third eye.
I had a student who'd been just fumbling and bumbling all year, dude. And then he finally said a right answer. And I lost it. I just won a car on Oprah.
Yeah.
I freaking lost it. It was
the best feeling. It really is. It's the best feeling. And I think ultimately after everything, yes, we're coaches and motivators and educators. We're all these things. But ultimately, what we do with people, what they pay us for, is to show them what's inside of them. Because many of them have no clue what is in there. And we help pull that stuff out. And when it finally happens, it's like, dude, it's the best feeling. And it's a little vain, it's like, that's okay to say. Like, to me, Mother Teresa, okay, she's still driven by an ego. She gets off by helping people.
You son of a bitch.
I'm racist.
We have a lot of Catholic viewers who take it back.
I'm pissed off Chads and Catholic viewers. But
Man,
Nick,
where's he gonna go next?
But you've had that. I'm sure you've had that multiple times. What could you think? I know this is a hard one, but like, what would you say is one of your favorite moments like that as a trainer, where like somebody just broke through and they had a huge accomplishment?
you know, when they were stuck at a plateau in a weight loss journey. One of my longest clients, I'll give her a shout. She's probably watching right now. Meredith. She's been with me 2.5 years.
All right, Meredith.
Yeah.
40 pounds and kicking ass. She's almost at her goal weight. Almost at her goal weight. I remember there were times where the weight just would not budge for 2 to 3 weeks, and I told her, I'm like, just keep sticking to the plan. Keep sticking to the plan. We adjust the calories left and right. And she would send me text messages in stores trying on clothes and things like that. And she goes, I never thought in a million years I would be fitting in clothes like this ever again. I'm crying right now, and I just want to say thank you. Text messages like those, I screenshot those and I keep those in a little folder because that just means the world to me that I helped do something like that.
For sure. And look at, and I'm a firm believer in this. We will get more from our clients than they will get from us.
100%.
And I mean that like some of my closest friends now are women that I've been training for a long time, because you get such a diverse market. You know, here because we have a little bit of a different demographic. Our clients tend to be a little bit younger, and they're here for cosmetic reasons. They're all here. Our average client is a female, ages 25 to 39, that wants a nice ass and a flat stomach. And I am okay to say, yep, that's what we market to. We're not going to bullshit around and say, we're here to improve your functional fitness and make you have better stability or that horse shit. But they're from so many different walks of life. Our biggest one are nurses. We train so many nurses. And after that, then you get into teachers and bar industry and stuff. But I've also got a few doctors that I train. But there's some of those that have been with me for
teachers
so long.
and bar industry.
Yeah,
Great
it's awesome.
combo.
It's awesome. Nurses, teacher, bar industry. But the stories that you get, like as you start to talk to them and you get to know them over the years, the ideas that you get from them and the things that they use to enrich your life, it's like sometimes I'm like, how am I making money at this? Like, how are they the ones paying me? Because there are some, and like you hear me talk a lot about my clients, Mina and Tyler and everybody, where I'm like, dude, there are so many times in my life I feel like they've helped me or added more to me. But I guess it's that exchange where like we show them, here's what you're capable of, here's all this greatness that you can do. And then in return, like their specialties and the things that they're very smart at and have good ideas, they return to us. And it's like, man, after so many years of you doing that and seeing people accomplish stuff, it's like, it's a really good feeling. 100%. It's so crazy sometimes. You go, wow, I make money doing this. I feel sometimes like I should be the one paying. Now, don't let that give any of our clients ideas. You're not getting any money back, sorry, not during Corona. So, enough about selling out. I want to check the screen again and see if anybody's got any comments, then we're going to talk about Taco Bell.
Oh, no.
Because Taco Bell is, it's a great place. It's a great fast food company. Let's see. Oh, let's scroll through. Yeah, blah 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 blah. My God, there's so many on here. Oh wait, I think I see some. We got Shelby. Oh wait, okay. So Stacy Route. Stacy says, Sam, I think you need to move your operation across the street to the old Golds when you're ready to expand. Stacy, I don't want anything to do with that place. We are just going to open other locations. We don't need to get bigger. Michelle says, hey girl, hey. Melanie says, pivot, flip, and switch with the times. That's right, you gotta be adaptable. My boy James Brady, he's watching. Michelle Betts, Nicole Huffman, Shelby Bierman. Shelby Bierman says, hi, Nick. Shelby Alman, Michaela. It's vitally important that the independent studios and trainers stick together. I agree. And Alyssa says, absolutely, you show us not just physically, but mentally as well. You bet.
Do it.
Was that Igor's watching? That's funny. Drew says, look at those handsome dudes. Drew, the only way that this could get more handsome is if you were here, and then we would have to turn this into a porno, and then Facebook would kick us off. And I would never be allowed to do a live podcast.
I gotta go.
Again, yeah. Jordan didn't sign up for this, so there's a theme to this video.
I'm charged the fee.
Jason Birch. Jason Birch, what's up, buddy? Okay,
what's up, Birch?
Jason, you know what, Jason, we should have you on here sometime. You're another dude. We talk on social media, but I have never met you in real life.
He's a great guy.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that have good things to say about you, so we're going to have to get you on here sometime. What did that say? Dead. Drew said dead. Man, Drew and I go way back. Drew Skiles.
Oh, God.
I met Drew.
I've known Drew since junior high.
It's a long time. Drew has been around forever, and he's an awesome guy. Drew, I would love to have you
How
on
old
here
is he?
sometime. Drew, what are you, like 50, 56? No.
He hasn't been around forever. He's been around for, how old is he?
No, Drew's younger than me.
He's my age. He's
Yeah.
like 30 or 29.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's quite a bit younger than me, but so let's go beyond selling out.
Taco Bell?
Taco Bell. So, you guys, I need you to understand something. All right, just because you go to a fast food restaurant or you eat out, you don't have to eat like shit. Okay, I was just having one of those days today where I was like, fuck, I've been in the studio all day working on building our kids area out, and mentally it's like, the Taco Bell's right across the street, right? Like, it's so easily accessible, and Taco Bell,
Sounds damn good.
man, Taco Bell is the best. Taco Bell and Candy Apple Bangs. So
Sponsor me.
yeah, covered in ranch dressing, and not just any ranch dressing. Okay,
Ken's Steakhouse Ranch
Yes.
dressing.
So anyway,
With the
Taco
green
Bell.
label.
No, what's the Hidden Valley?
Oh, Hidden Valley has a green label. Sorry, Ken's.
Hidden Valley. It's got.
Don't hit me with a libel suit.
So Taco Bell, I was like, shit. It was almost like, Jordan said, you have different selves. Man, that one self was like, we're just going to take a big right turn, and then another right, and then a left. And next thing you know, I'm
We're
sitting in
gonna
Taco
drift.
Bell's parking lot.
Taco Bell, think outside the self.
But because tracking my macros, keep track of what you're eating, I get there and I was like, well, they do have fresco chicken tacos that are only like 120 calories each. So I had a couple of those and I was completely fine. So my point with that is you can go to fast food restaurants, you can eat out at places, and you still don't have to lose control or use that as some excuse that you had to eat like shit. You can even you can't go to McDonald's right now, though I know because I took my kids there yesterday and I tried to get some grilled chicken, and one thing they told me they don't have because of Corona, and the other thing they were like, oh, sir, I gotta let you know it'll take 10 to 15 minutes to make the chicken sandwich, and I was like, yeah, okay, never mind. But I want to do a whole episode on nutrition and stuff at some point, but it also made me think there are ways that you can go to fast food and still eat healthy.
Of course.
So, Nick, as somebody who's lost 100 pounds and has been all that, when you are like, okay, I'm not going to eat bad, but I got to go to fast food or I got to eat out because I don't have meal prep, what is your go-to thing?
Chick-fil-A, to be honest.
Yeah,
I love
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A. Love the chicken, the Cool Ranch chicken wrap. Get the side salad with
Yeah,
it,
that's a
some fruit
good
cups.
choice.
But it's one of those things too. Like you saw on the menu, there are healthy options. It might not be the healthiest thing, but it's the best available right now. And then you make it up later on with even a better, healthier meal later on as well. It's just about making sacrifices and better choices at the day.
I always feel like, I don't know how much of it is, yay, I got to eat shitty food, or how much of it is just, I wanted to go to a fast food restaurant and satisfy that part of me. So by going and getting something that's not that bad, it's like you'll satisfy a little bit of both of that. You feel like, okay, it's monotonous to eat grilled chicken and broccoli all the time. So when you get that opportunity, like, ooh, I'm gonna sneak something bad, it's like a little mental dopamine rush. So sometimes it is good, and you're not breaking your diet that hard. If you do go to some place that's a fast food restaurant, or it feels like a cheap meal, but you don't have anything that bad, it still kind of satisfies that mental thing, and you don't mess your diet up that hard.
I was gonna say, it makes me wonder what we're really craving, because we're all taught that we're craving the bad shit, which of course we're craving because it hooks our brain and everything. But I think the initial step towards doing it is not that you're craving that food, because it's really not that good. We all know it doesn't really taste that good. It's just guilty. The first step might be the convenience.
Oh yeah.
I was reading this book.
Especially when you got kids.
Yeah, I was reading this book called Salt, Sugar, Fat. It's a great book. You guys should read it. You should recommend it to your clients. I read it to purposefully brainwash myself kind of against some of these things. And it didn't talk about as much the bad ingredients as it did the convenience. That's how they hook you, is get you on the convenience. That gets you the initial step out the door. You even said it yourself. It's right across the street. Right across the street was the first step. So if you can acknowledge what the first step is, you can just go, all right, hey, I know I'm going to be gone most of the day. I'll bring something with me, maybe. That would help.
Okay, that makes me think of something else. So Nick, when you were at your heaviest, what was it emotionally that drove you to overeat or not be active or led to the weight gain? Because there's always something emotional tied to that.
I think, to be quite honest, I was just a real shy, quiet kid and didn't have that many friends at that time too. And you know, I loved eating. I'd always loved eating growing up. And I was 21, 22 at the time, going out, partying left and right. And I saw this photo of myself on Facebook where I literally looked 10 months pregnant, like I was about to pop. And I knew I needed to make a change. And sure enough, that made my mind just click, that photo. And, you know, I started looking at the things I was starting to eat a lot more and, you know, made better choices every day. Now, I'm not going to say still to this day, 9 years, 10 years later, I still fight the little fat kid in the back of my head every day.
But it's a little fat kid now. It's not.
Yes, and he'll be out to play tomorrow. It's cheat meal day tomorrow. But, you know, I know deep down inside that this is not going to satisfy me in the long run now. It's just a short-term thing.
Right.
But at the end of the day, too, you still got to treat yourself once, 2 times a week. And that's why I always tell my clients the 80-20 rule. If you're following a good nutrition plan, diet plan, 80% of the time, 15, 20%, that's yours. Enjoy it. Have a couple beers. It's not a diet. It's a lifestyle.
I have a few that they obsess because they follow Instagram people and they don't understand. Unless you're getting ready for a show and you are wanting to be absolutely shredded, you do not have to follow the diets that they give out there. And yes, sometimes even when you visit your local supplement place, they're going to want to write you something as if you were getting ready for a show. Everything is on a gradient. Okay, so unless you're wanting to be absolutely shredded and you're going to step on stage, you don't have to follow those diets 100%. But what that made me think about was you said when you were a kid, you didn't have that many friends. And so it was easy for food to kind of give you that little rush, that little feeling like, oh, okay, this is happiness to me. And that shit sticks with you. So as you get older, when you're in bad moods, you're in a bad place, you're going to want to tend to go, what's that thing that always made me happy?
Food.
Dude, for me, growing up, for all of you that are around the area, I grew up in House Springs. House Springs is the greatest town in all of Jefferson County. But anyway, growing up as a kid in House Springs, all we ate was whatever the newest fast food restaurant was because my mom did not cook. My mom was like,
Captain D's, please.
It was like, I remember when the very first Hardee's went in down there. That's all we ate.
Were you guys there at the ribbon cutting? The mayor of House Springs.
No, it's Mayor McCheese from fucking McDonald's. Mayor McCheese is out there and he's like, fuck this Hardee's. And he throws it. Like, that's not fair. If Mayor McCheese has to go to the opening of other restaurants, that's...
You know the next night some mafia shit's going down, man. Mayor McCheese is lighting like a gasoline trail into Hardee's.
That really is politics. That's really how it works. Mayor McCheese really exists.
Mayor McCheese is Gold's Gym. I mean, Club Fitness.
We would eat at whatever the newest restaurant, the newest fast food place was. So this is where I'm tying that together, though. I don't think that it's going there and getting the cheesy gordita crunch or the Crunch Wrap Supreme or the quesadillas.
What about a chalupa?
Or the chalupas or the chihuahuas. I don't think it's necessarily the food itself that makes me like, okay, here's that little dopamine rush. I think it's pulling up to the building, go into the drive-thru because it reminds me of being like 6 years old, being in the car with my mom. Yeah, and going there and it's like, ooh, this is so fun. We're going to go through the drive-thru. Is there going to be a toy with it? So it's not even so much the bad food that
Were
is
you in
that
a romper?
Yeah, you know, back in the 80s, the early 90s, boys with rompers, that was the cool thing.
Dude, we'll bring it back. We'll bring it back.
Well, Jordan
I'm gonna wear. I promise. If you remind me, I'll wear a romper next time I'm here.
Jordan has a romper on. Well, he's got one on right now. It's under this.
It is.
And,
it is.
When we film our special movie after this, he'll be.
So we're
With
making
the
a porno after
45
this?
pound. We had to pay a fee.
This Monster Energy drink can is for.
Oh, God.
But yeah, I don't think that it's so much the food itself as it is that emotional connection. We all do that. Our culture is brainwashed. Okay? Think
No,
about this.
no. That's
I'm going
human
somewhere.
beings. It's not just our culture. Human beings.
Okay, well, human
are
beings,
bra-
but
they are brainwashed.
especially-
So whatever they're
especially
in.
this culture, okay,
Yeah.
our American culture. Think about this when you go, okay, what's so special about your birthday? Oh, birthday cake, cupcakes. What's so special about Thanksgiving? Ooh, the turkey and the mashed
Oh,
potatoes.
yes.
What about Halloween? All that candy. Everything we associate food with celebration.
Mm-hmm.
We associate food with feeling good. And so when we're having times that we're stressed out and we want that quick feeling, that quick emotional thing, we go right to the shit that's always been told this is how you celebrate and feel better.
I was thinking about this today. Like, so you know the Victorian age, how they were obsessed with sex and like keeping sex, like, you know, but when you had it, it was crazy in the Victorian age, and they had all those diseases they had to worry about. In our age, that's food.
Uh-huh.
So
It is.
whereas the Victorians had like the chastity belt, we have the gastric bypass. We are a food
Very much.
obsessed culture. Instead of being obsessed with sex, we're obsessed with food. We worship celebrity chefs. We send each other pictures of our food.
Yep.
It's very pornographic.
It is,
It's
and I think
very pornographic.
the reason I think that though is we are a very entertainment-driven culture.
100%.
Well, yeah.
We are obsessed with celebrities, and we want to be entertained 24/7. And every business and every industry is trying to find ways to entertain whoever their customers, and we do it. Why do you think we're doing a fucking podcast? Why do you think I act like a clown during my sessions? I have to entertain you guys. But we do that with food more so. Okay? How many clients have told you this? I don't want to eat that. It's boring. How many times have you heard
All
this
of
shit?
them.
It's boring to eat the same. It's boring to eat that. You're not supposed to be entertained by your fucking food. It's not entertainment. But when we see food advertisement
No,
for a burger
it's-
this big and there's cheese
Yeah.
dripping out of it, it looks cool. It's entertaining.
It's when you get on a dopamine schedule where you have to have it boop, 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 instead of once in a while. Then when you don't have a couple cycles, man, I gotta have whatever I'm told to have. I will have.
Well, my thing is you can satisfy that dopamine rush and still stick to your results. There are ways to go to those places and eat something that's not going to completely derail you. I could have had what I normally have at Taco Bell, which is about 1,200 calories, and instead I came out of that with like a third of that.
One
And
time
how'd
I
you
hit.
feel after that? How'd you
I feel
feel?
great. I came here and I worked on more stuff, and I wasn't like crashing later like I would
Well,
if I
and
were
that's
to go to
exactly
Dairy
what you
Queen.
said. You didn't crash, and you were still productive
Yes.
afterwards.
Yep.
too.
That's a big one, actually.
Yeah.
It is just noticing your mood or how you feel after doing certain things.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we're almost to the end of our stick because we've been at this now almost an hour, and I still have to upload this thing to YouTube. I just want to
Gotta do what
say,
you gotta do.
I want to thank Nick for being here with us tonight. And Nick, if people want to find you on social media or contact you, where would they find you?
Facebook, Nick Martin, NickMartin, and my Facebook page and Instagram page, Kryptonian Muscle LLC, KRYPTONIAN space Muscle MUSCLE LLC.
Does your gym Relentless, do they have any social media?
Relentless Fitness, just STL. Relentless Fitness STL.
Awesome. So that's where you guys can find Nick. And if you got any questions that came about today that you want to ask him, then definitely throw it in the comments below or add him on social media if you don't already. As always, I want to thank everybody for following us, for watching our content, for sharing this and trying to build that fitness community with us. And if you aren't subscribing to our YouTube page yet, then we need to have a talk. All right? Are you brain damaged? Is there something wrong with you? Right now, go to YouTube and search TeamSam Fitness, 2 words.
Now you're going against special needs. Terrible.
Go to YouTube. Chad's
Edit that out for
Mother
YouTube.
Teresa. Go to our YouTube page, search TeamSam Fitness, hit the subscribe button. Over the last 4 weeks, our YouTube page has exploded. It has exploded. We have like tripled our subscribers. We're up to almost 10,000 minutes of videos that have been watched in the last month. That's crazy. Every week, we have been putting out 4 new workouts. They are 30 minutes long each. They are boot camp style. You can do them in your home. We substitute stuff so that you can mainly use body weight. And if we're using dumbbells or bands, we give you guys alternative ideas for that. But every week, we've been uploading 4 new workouts, 30 minutes long each, 2 from Michelle, 2 from me. And of course, this podcast that you're watching right now is available on YouTube as soon as it is uploaded. So as always, thank you guys for sharing our content. Thank you for helping us spread the message and build that awesome Team Sam fitness community. And unless you guys have anything else you'd like to add.
Well, I would have to say, it is Friday, so I would like to ask Nick how he's feeling. How are you feeling, Nick?
I'm feeling fabulous.
That's a synonym
Fabulous
for good. Feel Good Friday.
Thanks for
There we
having me
go.
on again, Sam. Really appreciate it.
Oh,
Definitely
it
been
was
fun.
a pleasure. It was a pleasure. We'll have you on again sometime soon. Thank you guys for watching. We're going to wrap this up, and I'm going to set this thing back onto YouTube land.
Cheers.
I'm just drinking water.
Oh, Rusty Munson's
He
watching.
has to do
That's
the disclaimer. It's not water.
and Doug Dickman.
That's a name.